How many of you are aware about SCF? If you're aware about SCF or GCD, can you tell me the full form for the LCM? So if we are given any two numbers, okay, if we are given any two numbers, and we want to find the GCD or SCF of those two numbers, okay. So the time complexity that comes here is big O of. So let's write the piece of code, a small piece of code for this. Now, so if we got the GCD, so to find the LCM, there is a very simple formula we should be knowing to find the LCM here. The time to find that GCD will remain same, but as we are doing it for the complete array, so it will be n times whatever the time complexity that we got, right? So, okay. So, how many of you are aware about SCF? If you're aware about SCF or GCD, so GCD is greatest common divisor. Okay. Can you tell me the full form for the LCM? So LCM here is least common multiple. Yeah, it's okay. If you forget also, then it's okay. We'll cover from the basics, right? So GCD is greatest common divisor, okay? Or it is called HCF also, that is highest common factor, okay? So if we are given any two numbers, okay, if we are given any two numbers, and we want to find the GCD or SCF of those two numbers, okay? So tell me, let me tell you what is the GCD. So GCD is basically the largest number that divides both of them. Largest number that divides both of them. Okay, so let me give you an example, and I think then it's good to discuss. X is 38, some Y is 54. So those who are aware, can you tell me what is the GCD of these two numbers if you're able to find it? Greatest common divisor. So I tell you the definition, right? I tell you the definition, that is largest number that divides both of them. Everyone tried for all the numbers, try for all the numbers, okay, which is less than Y, you can say for now, and check if it is divisible by that number, right? So it's 2. So if you start from 28 or 54 and you check all the numbers, right, then you will get the maximum number which divides both of them is 2. Okay. So here the GCD that comes here is 2. You check for all the numbers. Okay. You check for all the numbers from 28. The maximum that it could be divisible is the maximum that could divide both of them is this one. Okay. Okay. Let's try for the another example and tell me the result. So consider the first number is 60 and the second number is 36. Now, can you try to find out the GCD? Those who are not aware about the GCD, they should also be trying, because I told you the meaning, right? So the meaning is largest number that divides both of them. You have to just find the largest number that divides both of them. Raghavendra, you gave 3, right? So, but if you see that 6 also divides both of them, so should be something more than 3, right? Because the first number before the after that is 6, right? So at least it should be 6 or more than that. See, so the largest number that could divide both of them is actually 12. So that is the GCD here for now. That is greatest common divisor. Okay. So one thing to observe here. So what you are doing here. Okay. So can anyone tell me the logic? What if they want to do it with the help of a code? Okay. So what they will iterate from? Will they iterate from 0, or will they iterate from 2, or will they iterate from Y, or will they iterate from X and go to, if they start from X and Y, they will go down, right? They will decrement it. If they go from 0, they will increment it. So what's the best way you can think of? See, what is our end goal, right? So our end goal is basically to check for all the numbers which are like the larger number, okay, which can divide both of them, right? So how we can go ahead with this? So the brute force approach will be simply to take the least value, okay? So one thing you could do is to reach from like start from Y, go to till 0, okay? That is one thing you could do. But other way around is basically you can take the minimum of both. Why you can take the minimum of both? The logic behind it is, see, you want to find the greatest common divisor. So if any number which is dividing both of them, then it should always be smaller than the minimum one, right? Because it is dividing it, right? If this number is some number is dividing this number, then it should always be smaller than this number. So we can start iterating from picking the minimum value, what are the minimum of X and Y, okay? From there, we can go to the last value, which is 1, okay? From minimum of X and Y, we can go to 1 to check all the values which divides both X and Y. If we got any of the value, then we can say, okay, this is the GCD, just return the GCD. So anyone want to tell like what is the time complexity of this approach will be? So the time complexity that comes here is big O of minimum of any of the value, right? If it's X or if it's Y, right? So what is the minimum value? So it's a minimum of X and Y. Okay. So let's write the piece of code, a small piece of code for this. Okay. So so we will have one method, find GCD. Okay, we'll have two variables, int a and b. Now, first we'll find the minimum of both, right? So consider mean value is math.min of a and b, right? So we'll find the minimum value. Now, for that minimum value, we keep on iterating till that minimum value is greater than 0, or if you can say it's equal to 1, right? Till that time, we keep on reducing the minimum value. And every time we keep on checking if both of them are divisible or not, right? We keep on checking if A is divisible by minimum value and B is odd and B is divisible by minimum value. If this is the case, we can say GCD found, and this is the value of GCD, and we can simply return from there. So this is the way how we can find the GCD. So consider for this, the GCD should be 12. Okay. Now, if we increment it to something called 26, so the GCD we are getting is 2. And let me pick the example that we have created, 28 and 54. So we're getting 2 here, right? So we got the GCD as 2. Okay. So that's a simple approach. Okay. Now the time complexity of this approach that we discussed is big of minimum of A comma B. Okay. Any doubt in this? Now, so if we got the GCD, so to find the LCM, there is a very simple formula we should be knowing to find the LCM here. LCM is equal to, just do the multiplication of those two numbers. We will divide with the GCD of those two numbers, A and B. That's how we find the LCM of AB. Least common multiple, LCM of A and B. Simple. Okay. Now, if an array is given to you, consider a lot of numbers are given to you, like X, Y, Z, A, B, C. Right? And every time they are asking you to find the GCD of the complete array. And they are asking you for the greatest common divisor of this complete array. Okay. So what you will do in that case, to find the GCD of this complete array, you will pick any two numbers. Okay. You will just pick these two numbers, find their GCD. Okay. Whatever the GCD is there, then pick the next one and find the GCD of that with this number. Whatever GCD you got, pick the next number and do the GCD again. So get some GCD again, right? So this way you keep on doing it till there is no number, and the final the value that you get will be the GCD of the complete array, or the greatest common divisor of the complete array. Okay. So time complexity will be more. See, here we are talking about two numbers. So for the two numbers, it's minimum of AB, right? But there are n numbers, right? So it's in terms of array, we are doing the same operation for the n numbers, right? So it will be multiplied by n. Okay, the number of elements that we have in the array, right? So the time to find that GCD will remain same, but as we are doing it for the complete array, so it will be n times whatever the time complexity that we got, right? So